Hello, it's me, Rebecca Main, paranormal romance author extraordinaire and social bookworm to an extent because my ankle is sprained. And I can only be social virtually most of the time, unless my friends come and visit me, which they have been, and that's very nice. Insane. Today I am bringing you a new character concept. Today's feature is going to be on William the Beast Gunwyn, and I am really excited to dig into him. William is our very dashing and growly Scotsman and the leading man for Covet the Night. And if you want to catch up on his leading ladies character concept, you can check out the link that is up in the corner to go and see what Gwen is all about. I will give you a hint. Meow. And no, that was a very enticing hint. Right, so today, William, I am going to regale you with a brief history of his backstory, a fun fact, what I find to be a fun fact, as well as the 3 words I would use to describe him. So, right, a brief history. Spoiler alert, I've tried making this video before, and it ended up being 20 minutes long because I went into a lot of detail about William's history. I rambled, truthfully. So I made myself a bullet point list to try and stop myself from rambling. We'll see if it works. Okay. 1. His family was murdered by a mad vampyré scientist, and he was the only one to survive. And in surviving, he became the first hybrid. He is half-lycan and half-vampyré. Upon being the only one to survive, he kills the mad scientist vampyré and avenges his family. But turns out the majority of the supernatural community didn't trust him, didn't like him, kind of thought he was a monster and abomination. Not really cool of them. They didn't even try and get to know him, but that's just them. Everybody wanted him dead, is the main point I'm going after. And even his old pack wouldn't accept him back because he wasn't fully lycan anymore. So don't worry, it takes a good turn, his history. It kind of started down, but now it's going to go back up. He is vouched for while he is on trial for pretty much being born into existence by the supernatural community, and a household of the Dark Court, the Gunwyn household, vouches for him. And because they vouch for him, he is able to earn his place in the Dark Court by way of the fighting pits. And over the century, I think he's almost 200 years old. Over the century, I really want to make that plural. It just sounds so much better. He becomes a very respected figure in the Dark Court, but also very feared, and he still kind of feels like an outcast. But he's doing well for himself there, so that's a plus. And that is his history in a nutshell. Now on to that little fun fact that I do shed some light on in Covet the Night, but not to like this depth. I'm really spelling it out for you here. And then hopefully once you read Covet the Night, you'll get to the specific scene in the one chapter, and you'll be like, oh, and you'll know. You'll be in the loop. You'll be in my loop be awesome. That's what this is for. Okay, carried away. So, for those of you who have read Mr. Vrana, I think you will immensely enjoy this fun fact. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with the world of the Dark Court, let me give you a little bit of the lowdown on it. The Dark Court is, as one might assume by its name, a court of supernaturals originally intended for vampires who can't be in the sun, hence dark, but was eventually opened up to other supernaturals such as sorcerers and shifters, and most recently, demons. Pretty cool, I know, Dark Court. Everybody's got an interesting fashion sense down there when you are stuck in time. Anticipate this. So, now remember how I said the Gunwyn household vouched for William? Well, they did that because they saw themselves in him. They were a bit of an outcast, and they weren't exactly wanted by the Dark Court either. They were the last of the titled households, of which there are 3 in the Dark Court. You can be part of a royal household, a major household, or a minor household. That's the Gunwyns. And anybody else is just a houseless courtier or a seasonal courtier guest. But their presence, the Gunwyns, they didn't receive an enthusiastic welcome. But most of all, what they saw in William was his potential to do great things. The Gunwyn's own voucher was given by the Vranas in 1866 under that same belief that they would do great things at the court. But tragically, 2 weeks after the Vranas vouched for them, they were murdered. And really, in essence, the Gunwyns were trying to kind of pay it forward in honor of the Vranas, and so they vouched for William. And I just really like that connection. I love that connection, actually. It just is so right, especially given what I feel like the Vranas represent at the Dark Court, which is change and advancement, and you'll get to see a lot more of that in the coming series. Be great. Okay, we've had our fun fact. We've done a brief history. We aced them. This is going by so much faster than my previous video. Give myself a pat on the back. And now, let us get on to the 3 words I would use to describe William. We've got loyal, yes, and determined, absolutely, a little bit single-minded in his determinedness, if I am being honest, and he's lonely. So he is very determined. I mean, he would not have survived the Dark Court if he was not. He wouldn't have survived, period, if he wasn't determined. He's very loyal. He gets that from his lycan side, and you want to be on William's side for sure. You want him to have that bond of loyalty with you. He's a man you want on your side. He just is. He's incredible. And then he's a lonely guy. He lost his family. The supernatural community wanted him dead. Some of them still do. His old pack wouldn't accept him or take him back, and he knows he has a soul mark somewhere. I mean, the soul mark is on his body, but he doesn't know if they're alive, if they are human, if they are part of the supernatural community. And you can have all of the comfort in the world. You can be surrounded by the most fabulous people like you are in the Dark Court, but you can definitely still be lonely. But when you suddenly add into the equation the other half of your soul mark, and then you refactor in that determination and loyalty, what you have is it's going to be a hell of a chase, is what that's going to be as far as a romance story goes. You guys, I really hope you enjoyed this character concept of William. I adore this gruff man. He's got a little bit of learning to do in the book, but he's a smart guy. He can figure stuff out. If you liked this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe, do your thing. And if you would be so kind, answer me this question. If you could describe yourself in 3 words and add them up to define your romance story, what would it be? William's definition of his of his romance story ended up being, it's gonna be a hell of a chase. What would yours be? Comment below with your answer. I'm really interested to know. All right, guys. Bye.